What's poppin'? I finally made it. I'm gonna try and crunch this video in like 10 minutes. I'm gonna try my best to let you guys know as much as possible the backstory on Wifie, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. So 2007, my eldest brother came to me with this idea. So I guess this Wifie thing was in his head for a minute, and he said, let me get my sister on it. So he came to me and said, let's start a clothing line. I'm like, all right, cool. So we came up with a Wifie. Woman's intuition foresees ignorance every day. So from the get-go, it was always on that deep level stuff. So moving forward now, we did our groundwork, started going in and out of stores looking for the wholesale t-shirts, found that. Then we started off with embroidery, which I can show you here. This is one of the first ones that we did. Mind you, a lot of trial and error, and also at this time I was just going to school. I was working, I think I had a full-time job. Where was I working? In a truck rental company. So I was just, doing my thing, going to school, and I wasn't even going to school. I was just working at that time. I didn't start school yet. So this was like February 2007. That's when I incorporated Wifie Canada Inc. And we were just, doing our thing, getting the name out there. Back then, there was no like social media thing. If there was, I wasn't even on it because I wasn't really on that level, So it was more me just walking around as a billboard, rocking a Wifie shirt almost every day. And yeah, just doing the thing, spreading the word. So we went on. Here's some more of the embroidery. We went on figuring out the rhinestone was a issue that I had to overcome because I didn't understand any of this, like I said. And implementing those rhinestones took at least a minute to a minute and a half to apply to the shirts. So it was like a manufacturer in my room, on my ground, bagging them and just getting the work done. So moving forward now, this was 2007, February, that's when I incorporated it. And then I got this opportunity to get this summer employment. This is like springtime now. So I started working 2007 as a summer student for a company where I work now. I started off as a summer student, and to get into this company is like extra super hard. So it was like I had to take that blessing because I didn't have no government money to support my movement on Wifie, so I had to get that income to support it pretty much. So pretty much all my income was put on the Wifie because I was still living at home with my mom. So I was taking in a lot of money, not that I'm used to, on a weekly basis, and it was like perfect match for what I was trying to do. So I was able to fund it. Moving forward now, we're making the connects, going to trade shows, going in and out of stores, barbershops, and just speaking to people wearing the Wifie shirt. I gave away so much shirts. If you're tapping into this video and I gave you a Wifie shirt, make sure you connect with me, vibe with me. Let me know how that shirt's treating you. Let me know if the rhinestone is still on, because it's been like 10 years. And just let me know. Let's see what's going on with that. But moving forward now, I made those connections. So 2007 summer student. The thing with that, it was night shift, 8:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. And when you work nights, it throws you off. So this is when it started going downhill. Like I said, I started this early 2007 summer. I was working nights, and this is when it really started to like trickle down. But I was still making progress at the same time because I knew I had to do what I had to do. So I had this connect. My cousin's boyfriend's friend, he owned a store called At Ease. I don't know if it's still around. It's one of those hip-hop stores back in the day where you would get your Rockefeller, Dorian, and those type of name brands like young women, young men would wear or rock back in the day. So at this point now we're like, okay, we got the connect to get into the store. We need to start looking like professional and getting our tags and getting everything done. So this is when I started spending some more money and getting the custom tags done. If you can see that, I'll show you on a shirt. So these shirts here, these are the shirts that we manufactured from the get-go. This is all made in Canada as well. It's definitely supporting the Canadian vibe. I didn't want to go overseas and make my clothes, although it may be cheaper, but at the same time, this is Wifie Canada Inc. So I really wanted to keep everything Canadian made, So I was just trying to support the movement, really. So here's the tags that we created for the shirts. I put the acronym on the back: Women's Intuition Foresees Ignorance Every Day. And we just started printing our shirts, So mind you, a little info about the logo here. All the small logos that you see here were implemented on the left side. Wifie, you know, left finger, ring, marriage, whatever. Your wife. So that's when we started printing all this stuff and making the move. So that was a white. We have a blue, a gray. I just want to show you some of these that we were doing. You know, we just kept it neutral for the most part. So we got grays and whites, creams. Moving forward now, with the t-shirts that we're creating here to get into the store, like I said, I wanted to go professional, you know, like it's branded. I started making patterns for dresses. So I started off with 2 dresses, and I can show you these right quick. Let me just get rid of this. So these are the 2 dresses that we made. This one is like a cream, very low V-neck, you know, incorporated waist strap, and yeah, you know, branded and everything. This was one of the wifey dresses, and this is the second one. You know, like the store that we were going to get into was like a young adult hip-hop store, so I wanted to make a nice flowy everyday dress type thing. And then this one was supposed to be like the club dress. You know, back in the day, this is what I don't think I would wear this. Well, maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't wear this now, definitely not. So it has like an open back with an incorporated hood, and it's just, you know, fitted. So as this is going on, I'm working nights, 8:30 to 5, sleeping throughout the day, having blackout blinds. And if you ever work nights, then you understand what I'm saying and what it can do to your body. Your eating off times and your whole mood just changes, because this was the first time I've ever started working nights, and it was like something I was not used to. So it threw me off huge. So moving forward, you know, I was still doing my thing though. Like I'll try and get up during the day, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and, you know, try to get into those business hours to make connects and go places, get the name out there, whatnot. So moving forward now, the summer student employment has finished in September. This is when I started going to school, and I went for esthetician and massage therapy. So I completed that in the summer of 2008. So mind you, now this is a full-time program now, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So it's like, now that I'm done the summer employment, I'll have free time throughout the day to do whatever I gotta do. But this is when I decided to go to school in 2007, September, and it just pretty much now, this is taking up my all day. This is all day. And the weekends, most of these things are closed. So I was just trying to go to events, networking on the weekends, and just trying to sell my t-shirts and stuff throughout the evening and weekends pretty much. So this pretty much went down to like part-time at those times. And just, you know, just life, because I still wanted to go out with my friends and hang out and stuff when I had a chance to. But, you know, just working nights, a lot of those friendships kind of disappeared throughout the years. So it was just not even what I expected. So moving forward now to 2008, you see, with the summer employment, there was a high chance of me getting called back the following year, 2008, as a summer student, a temporary employee, or they can hire me back as a full-time. So that's exactly what happened. They called me back and offered me a full-time position. I remember that day. I was kind of like stressing that they're not going to call me back. You know, they would have called me back by now, because they said they would call back by the beginning of February, end of January, February, and it was trickling to March. I think it was trickling down to March. Yeah, like early March. Where was it? End of February, early March, they called me back, and I was actually like, what? These guys are really talking to me right now? So pretty much they offered me a full-time job, and she asked me if school was going to interfere with my job. It was. It definitely was, because remember, I was going to school 8 to 4 p.m., and she hired me back as a full-time, and I started off on day shift. So that whole, at least for the first 2 weeks, I had to go to my teacher and say, hey, you know, I got this, and I'll catch up whatever I have to catch up on. And at this time now, I'm close to graduating, so I really didn't want to just drop it because I just spent so much money on this course and I was almost done, and it was like crunch time for that. So I explained to her, she accepted it, whatever, and then I had to catch up like so much work in the last 2 weeks that I missed. So I'm going to my full-time job or whatever. So during the day now, I'm at work. This is when I met my other half, by the way. So we were both summer students in 2007. We never connected at all. 2008, we started working again together and we started vibing, connecting, talking, and whatever. We did our thing. So now I'm on a full-time day shift. Then they put me on afternoons. And then since I had my G license, they upgraded me. And with that upgrade, I was back to nights again, 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Now this is my full-time job. So I didn't have no vacation time for a whole year, probation time, whatever they want to call it. So I'm still trying to do this wifey thing. And now that I'm building this relationship, it's like this kind of disintegrated. So It's funny how it works because, you know, I put so much time and energy, money, and just so much determination, high hopes for what I expected. I had huge expectations on what I was trying to do and what I was trying to push. There's a lot more that went on throughout that time, but I want to show you some of the merch that we actually produced throughout this time. I went to a trade show in 2007. After my summer employment, and this is when I started implementing these jewelry parts of it. So this is a watch. This is probably my biggest biggest accomplishment throughout this whole process, making these watches. I have a white, this is white, and I have a black one as well. I'll definitely be posting these pictures so you guys can vibe with it later. Made some jewelry. This is like a clear, and this has like a brown tint. I have some tank tops like the one I'm wearing here. Many different colors. I have pink. This one just has the logo on it. So, you know, we're doing our thing, man. And here's a yellow. I'll show you the yellow and the pink quick. Here's a yellow one. So with the embroidery, we also went into screen printing because we wanted to give the options for whoever wanted a screen printed shirt because obviously it's cheaper. And here's the t-shirts. You know, I even went out tagging shit because, you know, like that trade show I was going to. That's why I started tagging, and because I was getting into the store, so I started tagging my stuff. And just to show you that this was on a deep level from the get-go, this hand tag, I'm going to read to you what it says. A woman who uses her intelligence to find reasons to support her intuition. You know, I was always into the wellness. I was always into our well-being, our deeper side as a woman, and it just fell off. So I'm going to get into that side now as to why I feel it fell off. Alright, so I'm going to try and explain this the best way possible without dragging it on. Oh, look, I also made a bag as well. This was for like the college students because, you know, they don't really carry knapsacks. They carry these big bags with their books. We have hats. Lots of hats. Remember, like I said, all the small logos we implemented on the left side because we wanted to symbolize marriage and whatnot. So with that being said, getting into that, I want to show you a t-shirt right quick. So, now, I'm my brand, okay? Don't let no one tell you you're not your brand. You have to rock it like it's you. So, wifey, I'm walking around, support the movement. You want to buy a shirt? Wifey. Yeah, alright. So, I was never married. I've never obtained a ring or anything like that. And to tell you the honest truth, it's just not my vibe. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking you if that's what you want. I'm all for it, for you. But as for me, it's not for me. So for me to try and sell my t-shirts and be like, this is my brand, and it's not me, it's not going to work. So it's like the Most High came, intervened, curved my concept, curved my path a little bit, and allowed me to set a different type of foundation, especially when it comes to family and raising kids and partnerships, you know. So I didn't understand this until recently, you know, because throughout the 10 years, I really did feel like a failure because I had high hopes and high expectations for myself. And that's another thing, but in a different video, I'll elaborate more on that, about having high expectations for ourselves and the outcome of that if it doesn't, you know, pan out. So throughout the 10 years, anxiety, depression came about, and just from working nights for the 3 to 5 years, I think it was about four years I was working nights, it threw me off. But at the same time, it was like I was blessed in so many ways that I did not appreciate. I really did not appreciate to a level of how I appreciate it now, because I spent most of my time angry, being bitter, and just feeling like shit, feeling like a failure. And you know, I was more isolated than anything. Working nights with midweek off days, my weekends were gone. So like my whole 20s was pretty much working nights and feeling like shit. You think I would have the lifestyle of going out with friends, hanging out, living my life or whatever when in my 20s, enjoying and stuff? No. My 20s was, I would definitely say, the hardest part, the hardest 10 years, the hardest decade that I spent, and I'll never forget. But at the same time, I'll never regret it, because it was bare growth and it just made me stronger for what's going to happen now and my future. So with that being said, just to give you some insight of those blessings that I was given, that I did not overstand, was my other half. We met at work, like I mentioned before. I got my 3 kids that I asked for. I remember asking and saying that I want 3 kids 2 years apart, starting at 23. This is when I had those high expectations. 23, 25, 27. And this is when I started building a relationship with my other half. But before that, I was the type of girl that I don't need no man. I'm independent. You know, all that talking shit most women do. We do need a man. And, you know, at the same time, we do need that partnership, the other half, to balance us out in a huge way. So definitely he was like the catalyst to my growth. No doubts, because he definitely tapped into who I was, and I was ignoring it for a long time and not accepting anything anyone would say about me, because like I said, I was that bitter female. No one could tell me nothing about me, about my attitude or who I was, because I would just lash out and say that's not true, you don't know me, and just carry on with my business. So, you know, it fell off, and what else can I say? I really do hope this video gave you some insight as to where Wifie originated from. Like I said, it was always on a deep vibe. Woman's intuition foresees ignorance every day. And with that being said, I was hoping to incorporate my esthetician and massage therapy into the Wifie and join it together on some wellness niche, but my path got altered. The Most High came and said, bam, sit down, because the image that you're portraying, the image that you're trying to sell, the image that you're pushing out there about ring and all that stuff, it's not you. And it's not me. I really do not see myself having that traditional marriage with the ring and all that stuff. So yeah, I didn't understand it. So with that being said, I hope this video brought you some insight. If you have any other questions, definitely let me know. And tap into my podcast, Soul Surge, The Words That Speak. I go deeper on it, and I'll leave those links below with those 2 episodes that you can tap into and listen to. Without that, stay up, stay blessed, and stay true to yourself. Guess where I'm going? I'm going to work, and I have 10 minutes to leave. So, peace.